crazy with the heat. Rain's no good for a notion salesman. Board! All aboard! Why not? What's the matter with credit? It's old-fashioned. Charlie, you're an Anvil salesman. Your firm give credit?
No, sir.
Or anybody else. River City next. Cash for the merchandise. Cash for the button hooks. Cash for the cotton goods. Cash for the hard goods. Cash for the soft goods. Cash for the fancy goods. Cash for the noggins and the pagans and the Perkins.
Cash for the hard set, cask and bacon bun. Cash for the crackers and the pickles and the fly fishers.
Pretty talk.
Where do you get it?
Pretty talk.
You can talk, you can talk. You can bicker, you can talk. You can bicker, bicker, bicker. You can talk, you can talk. You can talk, bicker, bicker, bicker. You can talk all you want, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't, but you gotta know the territory.
What's penalty for? Made the trouble where the people want to go. Want to get up and go. 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 22, 23 miles to the county seat. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Who's got the patronize a little bitty 2x4 kind of store anymore?
Pretty talk.
Pretty good.
Not the Model T at all. Take again to the store, at the margarine store, at the present day store, at the present day margarine departmentalized grocery store.
Pretty talk.
Pretty good.
Pretty talk.
Pretty good.
Talk, you can bicker, you can talk, you can bicker, you can talk, bicker, bicker, you can talk all you want, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't, but you gotta know the territory.
You need to pick up in the trouble. You need to put the crackers in the package. You need to biscuits in an airtight sanitary package with a cracker barrel. Obsolete.
Cracker barrel waiting on the window with the mail box cut down by the stove. Mangy approach of the traveling salesman made it pretty hard.
No, it didn't, but you gotta know the territory.
Gone with the hog safe, cast in them dump. Gone with the sugar barrel, milk pan. Gone with the dump and the pail and the deer. Ever met a fellow by the name of Hill? No!
Just a minute.
Never heard of any salesman, you know.
Now he doesn't know the territory. Doesn't know the territory. Never worried about his line. But the Cracker Barrel ain't on sweet. You need a biscuit in the airtight sanitary package or the Model T Ford.
Just a minute.
Never worried about his line. Or a doggone thing. He's just a baby. Fell with a big ball. Great ball. Knocking out the river roaring every time a bullseye sells. But the Harold Dill.
Charles, Mrs. Lawrence.
He's a fake, and he doesn't know the territory.
Pretty talk.
He's a music man.
What?
He's a music man, and he sells clarinets to the kids in the town with the big trombones and the rat-tat drums and the big brass bass. And the piccolo, uniforms too, with the shiny gold braid on the coat and the big red stripe running. Well, I don't know much about bands, but I don't know you can't make a living selling big trombones. No, sir. And with big straps, and you were never do start. So, sells bands, boys bands. I don't know if he does it, but he lives like a king, and he tallies and he gathers big butts. He shines when the man did. Certainly, boys, what else? Hyper pays him. Yes, sir. When the man dances, certainly, boys. What else? The piper pays him.
Yes, sir.
But he doesn't know the territory.
River City, we're across the state line into Iowa. River City, population 2,212. Cigars illegal in this state. Board!
All right, if you're through, I'll tell you about this Harold Hill.
You really know Harold Hill?
I never saw him in my life, but I know this much. He's given every one of us a black eye. After he's worked a town over, the next fella to go in gets automatically tarred and feathered and rode out to the city limits on rail. You think that's funny? Well, wait till it happens to you. Your hair never grows back.
But why should we get rode out of town on a rail?
Because in order to sell band instruments and instruction books and uniforms, he has to guarantee to teach the kids how to play.
Well,
and to form them kids into a band with himself as the leader.
What's wrong with that?
He don't know one note from another. That's what's wrong with that, and he can't tell a bass drum from a pipe organ. I'm gonna catch up with him one of these days, and when I do, I'll squeal on him so loud.
Wow, Charlie, you're mad. I'd sure like to be there and to catch up with that fella.
Well, it won't be on this trip, not in Iowa. Even the great Professor Hill wouldn't try to sell them neck-bowed Hawkeyes out here.
Gentlemen, you intrigue me. I think I'll have to give Iowa a try.
Don't believe I caught your name.
I don't believe I dropped it. Mr. Squires, yes. I'm interested in hiring a rig for Sunday if you could accommodate me.
Well, I suggest you talk to the man in charge of hiring rigs. Who's late as usual?
Hey! Gregory!
Marcellus!
You son of a gun! What? Shh. Greg!
Professor Hill's the name. Harold Hill.
But Greg, what are you doing here? Why you let me know you was coming?
Well, I didn't know I was myself. Besides, how'd I know you'd end up in a little tank town like this? You was a pretty big slicker when you were in business with me.
Too many close shaves the way you work. Besides, I got me a nice, comfortable girl now. Ethel Toffemeyer, the boss's niece.
Darn legitimate, huh? I knew you'd come to no good.
So, what's the new pitch? Oh, no, Greg. You ain't back in the band business again. I heard you was in steam automobiles.
Well, I was.
What happened?
Somebody actually invented one.
No.
Now give me the lowdown here, Mars.
You'll never get anywhere in the band business with these stubborn Iowans, Greg. Besides, you got a stuck-up music teacher here who'll expose you before you get your grip unpacked.
Male or female?
The music teacher? She's the librarian. Female.
Perfect. That's what I wanted to hear. If she passes by, you point her out to me.
I will. So, how are you gonna start the pitch?
Well, the same old way. Keep that music teacher off balance. And then my next step will be to get your town out of the serious trouble it's in.
Well, River City ain't in any trouble.
Well, then I'll have to create some. I have to create a desperate need for a boys' band. You remember. Now, what's new around here? What can I use?
Well, nothing. Oh, the billiard parlor just got a new pool table in.
They never had a pool table here before.
No, only billiards.
That'll do. See you later, Mars, and don't forget, music teacher.
Music teacher.
Ah, you're Mr. Dunlap.
Yep.
Well, either you're closing your eyes to a situation that you do not wish to acknowledge, or you are not aware of the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Well, you got trouble, my friend. Right here, I say trouble right here in River City. Why, sure, I'm a billiard player. Certainly mighty proud to say I'm always mighty proud to say it. I consider that the hours I spend with the cue in my hand are golden. Help me cultivate horse sense, and a cool head, and a keen eye. Did you ever take and try to give an ironclad leap to yourself from a 3-rail billiard shot? But just as I say it takes judgment, brains, and maturity to score in a ball-blind game, I say that any boob can take and shove a ball in a pocket, and I call that sloth. The first big step on the road to the depths of degradé. I say first, medicinal wine from a teaspoon, then beer from a bottle. And the next thing you know, your son is playing for money in a pinchback suit. And listen to some big out-of-town Jasper. Hear him tell about horse race gambling. Not a wholesome trot race, no, but a race where they sit down right on the horse. Like to see some stuck-up jockey boys sitting on Dan Patch? Make your blood boil, well, I should say. Now, friends, let me tell you what I mean. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets in the table. Pockets that mark the difference between a gentleman and a bum with a capital B, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool. And all week long, River City youth will be frittering away. Say, your young men will be frittering away their noontime, supper time, chore time too. Get the ball in the pocket, never mind getting the dandelions pulled or the screen door patched or the beefsteak pounded. And never mind pumping any water to your parents' or cup with a cistern empty on a Saturday night, and that's trouble. Yes, you got lots and lots of trouble. I'm thinking of the kids in the Knickerbocker, shirt-tail young ones, peeking in the pool hall right after school. You got trouble. Folks, right here in River City. Trouble with a capital T, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool. Now, I know all you folks are the right kind of parents. I'm gonna be perfectly frank. Would you like to know what kind of conversation goes on while they're loafing around that hall? They'll be trying out Bevo, trying out Cubebs, trying out tailor-made like cigarette fiends, and bragging all about how they're gonna cover up a telltale breath with sense. And one fine night, they leave the pool hall, headed for the dance at the armory. Libertine men in scarlet women and ragtime. Shameless music that'll grab your son, your daughter, to the arms of a jungle animal instinct, mass hysteria. Friends, the idle brain is the devil's playground. Trouble right here in River City with a capital T, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool. We've surely got trouble right here in River City. Gotta figure out a way to keep the young ones moral after school. Mothers of River City, heed that warning before it is too late. Watch for the telltale signs of corruption. The moment your son leaves the house, does he rebuckle his knickerbockers below the knee? Is there a nicotine stain on his index finger? A dime novel hidden in the corn crib? Is he memorizing jokes from Captain Billy's whiz-bang? Are certain words creeping into his conversation? Words like, swell, and so's your old man. Well, if so, my friends, we got trouble right here in River City with a capital T, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool. We've surely got trouble right here in River City. Remember the Maine, the Plymouth Rock, and the Golden Rule. Oh, we got trouble. We're in terrible, terrible trouble. That game with the 15 numbered balls was the devil's tool. Oh yes, we got trouble, trouble, trouble. With a T, gotta rhyme with P, and that stands for pool. Remember, my friends, listen to me, twice as I pass this way but once. Did you drop your...
No.
Well, didn't I meet you in...
No.
I will only be in town a short while.
Good. Yes, Mama. Keep on, Amaryllis. I'll be there in a minute. Mama. Fine, dear. Now your exercises.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't remember the library being open last 4th of July. It was, Mama, all evening. Mama, a man with a suitcase has been following me all over town.
Oh? Who?
Well, I never saw him before.
Did he say anything?
He tried.
Did you say anything?
Mama, of course not. Now, don't dawdle, Amaryllis. Sol, do, la, re, ti, mi, a little slower, and please keep the fingers curved as nice and high as you possibly can. Now, don't get faster, dear.
If you don't mind my saying so, it wouldn't have hurt you to find out what the gentleman wanted.
I know what the gentleman wanted.
What, dear?
You'll find it in Balzac.
Well, excuse me for living, but I never read it.
Neither has anyone else in this town.
There you go again with that same old comment about the low mentality of River City people and taking it all too much to heart.
Now, Mama, as long as the Madison Public Library was entrusted to me for the purpose of improving River City's cultural level, I can't help my concern that the ladies of River City keep ignoring all my counsel and advice.
But darling, when a woman has a husband and you've got none, why should she take advice from you? Even if you can quote Balzac and Shakespeare and all them other highfalutin greats.
Mama, if you don't mind my saying so, you have a bad habit of changing every subject.
No, I haven't changed the subject. I was talking about that stranger.
Stranger?
With the suitcase who may be your very last chance.
Mama, do you think that I'd allow a common master now? Really, Mama, I have my standards where men are concerned, and I have no intention.
I know all about your standards, if you don't mind my saying so. There's not a man alive who could hope to measure up to that blend of Paul Bunyan, St. Patton, Noah Webster. You can copy it for yourself, and your Irish imagination, your Irish stubbornness, and your library full of books.
Well, if that isn't the best I've ever heard.
Thank you. Can I have a drink, please?
May I have a...
May I have a drink, please?
Yes, dear.
Winthrop, it's after dark. Is that any way to walk in the house? Hello. That won't do at all. I'll have a kiss from my boy. The lady over there is your sister, young man.
Hello, Winthrop.
Winthrop, where's your manners?
I'm having a party on Saturday. Will you please come? I would especially like it very much if you'd come. Winthrop?
Well, Winthrop, Amaryllis just asked you to a party. Are you going or aren't you?
No.
No what?
No, thank you.
You know the little girl's name.
He won't say Amaryllis because of the S, because of his lisp. He's ashamed.
We know all about his lisp, dear. Well, Winthrop?
I'll bet he won't say it.
No, thank you, Amaryllis.
Amaryllis? Amaryllis? He's crying. Why does he get so mad at people? Just because he lisps?
It's not only because he lisps. That's just part of it, Amaryllis.
What's the other part?
Never mind, dear. It's just that he never talks very much.
Not even to you and your mother?
No, dear. We all have to be a little bit patient.
I'm patient. Even though he doesn't ever talk to me, I do him every night. I say goodnight to him on the evening star. You have to do the very second time you see it too, or it doesn't count. Good night, my Winthrop. Good night. Sleep tight.
Oh, there, darling, don't cry. You have lots of time. And if not Winthrop, there'll be someone else.
Never. I'll end up it'll be like you. I'm sorry, Miss Marion. Can I play my cross-hand piece?
May I play?
May I play my cross-hand piece?
You may.
See, without a sweetheart, you have no one to say goodnight to on the evening star.
I know, Amaryllis. But for the time being, just say, good night, my someone. You could put the name when the right someone comes along.
All right, it's better than nothing.
Yes, it is. Now you can play your crosshand piece.
Now I may play my crosshand piece.
Good night, my someone. Good night, my love. Sleep tight, my someone. Sleep tight, my love. Our star is shining its brightest light. For good night, my love. For good night. Sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be. Sweet dreams to carry you close to me. I wish they may, and I wish they might. Now good night, my someone, good night. True love can be whispered from heart to heart. When lovers are parted, they say. But I must depend on a wish and a star, as long as my heart doesn't know who you are. Sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be. Sweet dreams to carry you close to me. I wish they may, and I wish they might. Now good night.
I'm sure we're all grateful to my wife, Eulalie McKechnie Shin, for leading the singing. And, of course, to Ethel Toffelmeyer, our fine piano player. As mayor of River City, I'd like to welcome all of you River citizens to the 4th of July exercises set up in the indoors here in Madison Gymnasium on account of the weather. 407 years... Go. Fourscore and 7 years ago, the school board will now present a patriotic tableau. What? Oh, the school board will not present a patriotic tableau. Some disagreement about costumes, I suppose. Instead, the Watan-Yi girls of the local wigwam of the Hiawatha will present a spectacle of my wife. In which my wife, Eulalie McKechnie Shin, will take a leading part. Mrs. Shin will recover. No thanks to a certain young ruffian who's a disgrace to our city. Fourscore and 7 years ago, our forefathers said... The Payne's fireworks spectacle, last days at Pompeii, will take place providing the rain stops by 9:30. It'll be out to Madison Picnic Park, in the far meadow across the creek from the pest house.
Well, how can it be raining? Didn't the Gazette predict fair? Well, sure it did, Ewart. That's why we're all prepared for a storm.
The Gazette is accurate most of the time, and you know it, J.C.
Well, you wouldn't get very far in the baking business, being accurate most of the time.
All right, let's have some order here. Order! Order! Now then.
Yep, looks like the number 8 is late again tonight.
Well, I make her early. Oh, she's late, all right. She's right on time. What's the matter with your walk?
Will you members of the school board stop bickering in public? Never mind. Fourscore.
We heard there's a pool table in town.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Just a minute.
Well, is it a pool table or isn't it?
Will you allow me to get on with my exercises?
We don't want to hear any more exercises until we get this pool table matter, settle.
Let's protect our children.
That's enough of this.
Resist sin and corruption. Smite that devil and keep our young boys pure. Friends, may I have your attention, please? Attention, please. I can deal with this trouble, friends, with a wave of my hand, this very hand. Please observe me if you will. I'm Professor Harold Hill, and I'm here to organize the River City Boys Band. Brrrah. Oh, think, my friends, how could any pool table ever hope to compete with the gold trombone? Ra-da-ra-da-da-da-ra-ra. Remember, my friends, what a handful of trumpet players did to the famous fabled walls of Jericho? Oh, billiard parlor walls come a-tumbling down. Oh, a band'll do it, my friends. Oh, yes, I mean a boys' band. Do you hear me? I say River City's got to have her boys' band, and I mean she needs it today. Well, Professor Harold Hill's on hand. River City's going to have her boys' band. Sure as the Lord made little green apples, and that band's going to be in uniform. Johnny, Willie, Teddy, Fred. And you'll see the glitter of crashing cymbals, and hear the roar of thundering drums, and the shimmer of trumpets. Tantara! And you'll feel something akin to the electric thrill I once enjoyed when Pat Conway, Liberati, the great Creator, W.C. Handy, and John Philip Sousa all came to town on the very same historic day. 76 trombones led the big parade, with 110 cornets close at hand. They were followed by rows and rows of the finest virtuosos, the cream of every famous band. 76 trombones hit the counterpoint, with 110 cornets right behind. There were more than 1,000 reeds springing up like weeds. There were horns of every shape and kind. There were copper-bottom timpani and horse platoons, thundering, thundering all along the way. Double bell euphoniums and big bassoons, each bassoon having his big fat say. There were 50 mounted cannon in the battery, thundering, thundering louder than before. Clarinets of every size and trumpeters would improvise a full octave higher than the score. 76 trombones hit the counterpoint, while 110 cornets blaze away. To the rhythm of hush, 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 all the kids began to march, and they're marching still right today.
I want this spellbinder's credentials. I haven't seen Iowa people get so worked up since the night Frank got and Strangler Lewis lay on the mat for 3.5 hours without moving a muscle. Yeah, could you... Get that spellbinder's credentials. Grab that hoodlum, you almost blew up Mrs. Shin.
Geely, Clyde, let me go! Thank you, Professor. I can make an example of him. Ringleader and all. He does what Jane does.
You wild kid, ya. Tagging after my oldest girl last Saturday.
I wasn't either tagging.
Don't you contradict me.
We was just walking together, Geely, Clyde.
You watch your phraseology. I know what you was doing, my little Gracie here, senior. Now you stay away from my oldest girl, you'll hear from me till who laid the rails. Hill, I'll talk to you about this band thing Monday morning, 10 o'clock sharp over at City Hall. Men, I want this spellbinder's credentials.
Constable, I'll be responsible for the boy.
You don't know this kid. He's tough, and he's got a gang waiting outside.
Oh, I'll be careful. Tommy, I'd like to talk to you about the band.
Gee, Professor, that's for the little kids.
No, I'm not talking about you playing in the band. You're mechanically minded, aren't you? Ever do anything with perpetual motion?
Well, I nearly had it a couple times.
You did? Well, you're my man. Do you know that nobody has ever invented a music holder for a marching piccolo player? No place to hang the music.
Geely, Clyde, wonder where I can get some wire at.
Well, try your cellar. That's where people keep wire.
Goodbye, Professor.
Oh, Tommy. Now, Constable, I'll show you how to break up a gang. Oh, young lady. Oh, miss, you there. What's your name?
Sunita? I had no idea you're beckoning to me. Egad!
Do you know Tommy Gillis?
Oh, well,
Tommy, this is Anita. Escort the young lady home.
Only excepting I'm not going home. I have to go to the library. Egad!
Well, then escort the young lady home by way of the library. By way of the candy kitchen.
Do I have to?
You have to.
Yes, sir.
Egad!
Well, Professor, you're a pretty bright young fella. Made a couple mistakes, though.
Oh?
The mayor happens to own that billiard parlor and the new pool table.
Oh. Well, what was my other mistake?
That's Anita. She's the mayor's oldest girl.
Just a minute, Professor. We need your credentials. We're the school board. Well, academic certificates. Nothing of the kind. Make her put up a bond. No, we need letters and paper.
What am I hearing? You there. Say, ice cream.
Ice cream? But I don't sing, young man, if that's what you mean.
Well, then talk. Down here.
Ice cream.
Talk slower.
Ice cream.
You see? Singing is only sustained talking. Now you, sir.
Ice cream.
And you, sir.
Ice cream.
And you, sir.
Ice cream.
Ladies, from now on, you'll never see one of these men without the other three. How can there be
any sin insincere? Where is the good in goodbye, Your apprehensions confuse me, dear, puzzle and mystify. Mystify, tell me what can be fair in farewell, dear, while one single star shines above. How can there be any sin insincere? Oh.
I don't suppose you live alone or anything?
No.
Well, I have some wonderful caramels over the hotel.
Mr. Hill.
Professor Hill.
A professor? Of what? At what college do they give a degree for annoying women on the streets? Like a Saturday night rowdy at a public dance hall?
Oh, I wouldn't know about that. I'm a conservatory man myself. Gary Conservatory, gold medal class of odd 5.
Should that happen to be true, does that give you any right to follow me around wherever I go? And another thing, Mr. Hill, I'm not as easily mesmerized or hoodwinked as some of the people in this town. And I think it only fair to warn you, I have a shelf full of reference books in there, which may very well give me some interesting information about you.
Hey, Gregory!
Oh, hi, Mars, and don't call me Greg.
So, how'd you make out with the music teacher?
Scrumptious. Ate out of my hand the minute I tipped my hat.
She did? Boy, did you got a swap tonight. Samantha, I even thought you knew something about leading a band. Kind of like when you used to imitate that band concert fell back in Joplin. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da.
Oh, that's kid stuff. I'm in rare form these days, son. Just keep your eyes on me for the next 4 weeks.
4 weeks? It only used to take 10 days for the instruments to arrive.
It still does. But it takes 4 weeks for the uniforms.
Oh, no, Greg. You haven't added uniforms.
Uniforms and instruction books.
Instruction books? What? You can't pass yourself off as a music professor. I mean, not for any 4 weeks.
Mars.
But you don't know one note from another.
I have a revolutionary method called the think system where you don't bother with the notes.
But in 4 weeks, the people want to hear music. You'll have to lead a band.
This is a refined operation, son. And I've got it timed right down to the last wave of the brakeman's hand on the last train out of town. Now, if you'll excuse me, Mr. Washburn.
You're handling yourself up a little canoodling, huh?
Well,
say, I could fix you up with Ethel's sister. Lovely girl, teaches Sunday school.
No wide-eyed, eager, wholesome, innocent Sunday school teacher for me. That kind of gal spins webs no spider ever. Now listen, boy. A girl who trades on all that purity merely wants to trade my independence for her security. The only affirmative she will file refers to marching down the aisle. No golden, glorious, gleaming, pristine goddess. No, sir, for no Diana do I play fawn. I can tell you that right now. I snarl and I hiss. How could ignorance be compared to bliss? I spark and I fizz. For the lady who knows what time it is, I cheer and I rave. For the virtue I'm too late to save. The sadder but wiser girl for me. No bright-eyed, blushing, breathless baby doll baby. No, sir, that kind of child ties knots no sailor ever knew. I prefer to take a chance on a more adult romance. No dewy young miss who keeps resisting. All the time she keeps insisting. No wide-eyed, wholesome, innocent female. No, sir, for she's the fisherman. I'm the fish you see. Flop, I flinch and I shy. When the lass with the delicate air goes by, I smile and I grin. When the gal with a touch of sin walks in, I hope and I pray for Hester to win just one more A. The sadder but wiser girl's the girl for me. The sadder but wiser girl for me.
We are all agog. Aren't we, ladies? Simply agog.
Yes, I became bees. Everyone's so excited about the band.
I'm Ethel Toffelmeyer, the pianola girl.
And this is Mrs. Squires and Mrs. Hicks. And of course you know our mayor's wife, Eulalie, my technician. Oh, isn't it exciting, Eulalie?
I couldn't say.
Oh, no.
I could not say this time. My husband will wish to investigate, I'm sure. And naturally I'm reticent. Yes, I'm reticent.
Of course, Mrs. Shin. But you understand part of my plans include a committee on the dance and... Wait. No, wait. Do that again, Mrs. Shin. The way you raised your foot just now.
Oh, well, I have a body in there, the
Oh, what grace! What natural flow of rhythm! What expression of line and movement! You must accept the chairmanship for the ladies' auxiliary dance. Mustn't she, ladies?
Dancing!
Well, then you accept.
Well, that is I. Yes. And I would like to say...
Thank you, thank you. Now, the young woman who plays the piano, Marion Peru, I believe. After all, she is the librarian.
Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 cheep. That's her. Don't disappear my penny. Of course I shouldn't tell you this, but she advocates dirty books.
Dirty books?
Of course I shouldn't tell you this either, but I'll tell.
Amanda, don't I speak? Let me tell.
Stop! I'll tell. She made brazen overtures to a man who never had a friend in this town until she came here. Old Miser Madison.
Miser Madison. Madison Gymnasium. Madison Picnic Park. Madison Hospital. That Miser Madison?
Exactly. And who he think he was, anyway?
Well, I should say, the show-off, he gave the town the library too, didn't he?
That's just it. When he died, he left the library building to the city.
But he left all the books to her. She was seen going and coming from his place.
Oh, yes. She made brazen overtures for the gilt edge guarantee. She had a golden lifted eye and a silvery voice with the counterfeit ring. You just melt her down in your reveal. A lump of lead as cold as steel. Here, for a woman property, he left River City, the library building when he left all the books to her. Chauffeur!
We need your credentials.
Yes. Well, I have just what you need over at my hotel if you come with me. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. It's all right. I know everything and it doesn't make any difference.
What are you talking about?
You were probably very young. Anyone can make a mistake.
What?
No apologies, no explanations, please. I'll only be in town a short while and the sadder but wiser girl for me.
Will you please make your selection and leave?
I have.
Well, what do you want to take out?
The librarian.
Quiet, please.
The librarian. You're not listening, Marion. Look, Marion. Marbles. 6 Steelies, 8 Aggies, a dozen Pee-wees, and 1 big lassie with an American flag in the middle. I think I'll drop them.
No!
Madam Librarian. What can I do, my dear, to catch your ear? I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, heaven help us if the library caught on fire and the volunteer hose brigade men had to whisper the news to Marian. Madam Librarian, what can I do, my dear, to catch your ear? I need you badly, badly, Madam Librarian. Marian, if I stumbled and I busted my whatchamacallit, I could lie on the floor unnoticed till my body had turned to carrion. Madam Librarian. Now in the moonlight, a man could sing it. In the moonlight. And a fellow would know that his darling had heard every word of his song with the moonlight helping along. But when I try in here to tell you, dear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, it's a long lost cause I can never win. For the civilized world accepts as unforgivable sin any talking out loud with any librarian, such as Marian. Madam Librarian. Try in here to tell you, dear, I need you badly, badly, Madam Librarian. Marian, it's a long lost cause I can never win. For the civilized world accepts as unforgivable sin any talking out loud with any librarian, such as Madam Librarian. Ladies' Dance Committee meets Tuesday nights. Marshmallow? Well, Tommy, we've had a pretty good morning. 11 sails out of 12 tries. I'll tell you what. It's almost noon. You go home and get some dinner. I'll try a couple by myself.
Goodbye, Professor.
Thanks, Tommy.
Just a minute here. Are you soliciting? You haven't got a license.
Why, no. Mr. Mayor, I collected doorbells. This particular specimen has an unusual tone.
Flattery will not avail you. Soliciting is statutory in this county. Malfeasance without a permit. Now then, why haven't you been down at City Hall with your references?
Well, I must have just missed you, Mr. Mayor. Why, Mr. Mayor, your hand.
What?
Well, the spread of your little finger, it's hereditary.
Oh, it is? Well, what does that mean?
It means that your son's little finger is perfectly situated to operate the spit valve on a B-flat flugel
Well, is that good?
Good? It also means that America has finally produced an artist who can flugel the minute waltz in 50 seconds.
Well, where can I get me one of them horns?
Well, sign here, Mr. Mayor.
Yes. I think I could have missed this whole deal. Why, I haven't got a son! But you unscrupulous... No, you scrill... No. You'll be down at City Hall with your by-bagage papers by 3 o'clock.
You mean this afternoon?
You mean this afternoon? I couldn't make myself any plainer if I was a Quaker on his day off.
Why, Mrs. Peru, do you know that you have the facial characteristics of a cornet virtuoso?
I don't know if I understand you entirely, Professor.
Well, I mean that if your son has that same firm chin, those same splendid cheek muscles, well, not that he could ever really be great, you understand?
Oh, is that so? And in the name of St. Bridget, why not?
Well, you see, all the really great cornet players were Irish. O'Clark, O'Mendez, O'Klein.
But, Professor, we are Irish.
No, really. No, that clinches it. Sign here, Mrs. Peru. Your boy was born to play the cornet. Fine. That would be $7 earnest money. And not a penny due more until the opening of our band's first practice. Now then, I'll need the boy's measurements for his uniform.
His uniform?
Well, hello there, son. Why, certainly his uniform. And there won't be a penny due until delivery, which gives him 4 weeks to enjoy, to imagine, to anticipate, at no cost whatsoever. Never allow the demands of tomorrow to interfere with the excitement and pleasures of today.
Will it have
A stripe? Why, certainly, my boy, a wide red stripe on each side. Now, what do you think of that?
You'll have to excuse Winthrop, Professor. We can't get him to say 3 words a day, even to us. But if you get him to play in that band, well, you'll have St. Michael's own way with you. But if anybody can, I'll bet you can. The crowd I'll pick you for a hod carrying, clay pipe smoking, shamrock wearing, harp playing, mavronine pitching, tenors whole minstrel singing Irishman. Be governed, be jabberers. Where are you from, me by?
Gary, Indiana.
I know it, Gary. Where did you say?
Gary, Indiana. In fact, Gary Conservatory was my alma mater.
Was she now?
That's right. Gary Conservatory, gold medal class of '05. Why, how to do, Miss Peru?
How to do, Mr. Hill?
Peru, yes. I knew the name sounded familiar. I've tried to see you since the other night.
He wants to put Winthrop in the band.
Oh, we're not interested, Mama.
But Marion, the boy might have his father's musical gift. He does have my jaw, you know.
Your husband's musical? Well, I'd like to talk with him.
Do you burst into everyone's home like this, prying into personal affairs? I said we're not interested.
Marion.
Well, that's 1 for and 1 against. Now, why not let the boy's father decide?
The boy's father is dead. Anything else?
Oh, well, I am sorry. But that's even more reason why your brother should have something like this.
My brother is a 10-year-old problem child who can't understand why his father was taken away. Would you care to explain it to him? He's been brooding about it for 2 years. As for your musical tricks, Mr. Hill, why don't you go into business with some nice carnival man who sells gold-painted watches and glass diamond rings?
Musical tricks? Well, Miss Peru, I get the feeling she likes the idea. Oh, a little cautious, perhaps, but I admire that in a woman. Just keep me alive, and I'll be back later in the week.
One moment, Professor Hill. About the boy's measurements. I make all his clothes. Sleeve, 21. Waist, 18. Crouch, 14.
Fine, that's all I need. Now I must get back to the hotel.
Professor, you must excuse Marion. She's not really...
Oh, don't you worry about a thing. I'm sure that at heart she's as lovely as yourself. Good day to you, Widow Peru.
Has he gone?
He has, and I hope not forever. Darling, when are you going to start thinking about your future? Getty, Indiana conservation class of what, 5? Now, darling.
Now, Mama, surely a girl's future doesn't depend on encouraging every fast-talking, self-centered, woman-chasing traveling man that comes to town. And the fact that he claims his commodity in music does not, in this particular case, impress me.
All right, darling, all right. Only it's a well-known principle that if you keep the flint in one drawer and the steel in another, you'll never strike much of a fire.
Mama! Winthrop, I know you're in there. Please go to the library and ask Miss Grubb to give you the book I set aside. It's the Indiana State Educational Journal, 1890 to 1910. Now, it's a large brown volume with black corners.
Do I have to?
You won't have to say anything. I've written it all down. Thank you, dear.
Now, what are you up to? Why do you read books at this hour of the night?
I have a feeling the Indiana Journal may help me poke some large holes in the professor's claims.
Well, I give up. At your age, if you don't mind my asking, what kind of white knight do you expect to come riding along?
Well, I'm not waiting for Luther Greiner, who backs into the ancient history shelf every time he comes into the library.
He does?
Or Ed Gomage in that buggy of his with the removable back seat. But I'm not waiting for a man in shiny white armor either. My white knight, not a Lancelot, nor an angel with wings, just someone who loves me, who is not ashamed of a few nice things. My white knight, what my heart would say if it only knew how. Please, dear Venus, show me now. All I want is a plain man. All I want is a modest man, a quiet man, a gentle man, a straightforward and honest man to sit with me in a cottage somewhere in the state of Iowa, and I would like him to be more interested in me than he is in himself, and more interested in us than in me. And if occasionally he'd ponder what makes Shakespeare and Beethoven great, him I could love till I die. Him I could love till I die. My white knight, not a Lancelot, nor an angel with wings, just someone who loves me, who is not ashamed of a few nice things. My white knight, let me walk with him where the others ride by. Walk and love him till
Hey, Sunita!
Tommy! Mama and Papa are sitting right over there in the bank. Yes.
Well, then meet me after supper.
I can't. It's my birthday tonight. Meet you where?
The Footbridge?
You see, isn't that just what I said? Last time the lumberyard, now the Footbridge. And where are you going to meet me after that? The Blackwell, Calcutta? Egad.
I only wanted to show you my invention.
What invention?
My music holder for the marching piccolo player. Still has a few minor flaws. When you wear it tight enough to keep the music steady, it cuts off the circulation. You could barely wiggle your fingers. Meanwhile, you could go blind.
Tommy, it's Papa.
Well, is that the first thing I said, or isn't it?
Yes, George.
That's the very first thing I said, or I'll eat hay with the horses. Get that. Spellbinder's credentials. I said it morning of July 4th, 1912. Now look. My wife's off dancing at any and all hours instead of in the home. The school board's off singing up street and down alley instead of tending to city matters. My oldest girl's off boodling around with some wild kid. My business has fallen off so far I can't find the balance sheet.
Mayor Sheen, I found something very interesting in this book about Professor Hill's alma mater.
Is who?
His university.
I know all about that. In fact, that's the only thing I know. Gary Conservatory, class of '05.
If you'll just read a little bit about the conservatory, I don't think you'll have to look much further. It's right here on page...
Papa, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming up from the depot.
Wells Fargo wagon? At this hour of day, nonsense.
It could be the band instrument.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Oh, please let it be for me. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. I wish I knew what it could be.
I got a box of maple sugar on my birthday.
In March, I got a gray Mackinac.
And one I got some fingers from Canada.
Montgomery Ward sent me a bathtub and a cross-cut saw.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Oh, bring the lights of COD.
Or it could be.
Yes, it could be. Yes, you're right. It surely could be.
Something special.
Something very, very special now.
Just for me.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Oh, don't let it pass my door. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. I wish I knew what he was coming for.
I got the present from Seattle last September. I hope I get my raisins from Fresno. The DAR sent a cannon for the courthouse fair.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming now. I don't know how. I can never wait to see. It could be something for someone who is relation, or it could be something special just for me. It's the band instrument.
Here you are, Winthrop.
My cornet. He likes the dresser.
Men, you will each receive individual instruction in due course. In the meantime, stay off the streets, get acquainted with your instruments, and think about the minuet in G. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da, la-di-da, la-di-da.
Sister, isn't this the most such solid gold thing you ever seen? I love it, son. So struck with that straw gold thing. Oh, sister.
Round one to you, Mr. Hill. But I'd better hear some by golly tootin' out of them horns in pretty short order. I'll see you in front of the grand jury at the county seat. Now, Miss Mary, about that book.
Now, George, Henry Jersey.
You watch your phraseology. You can run along if you want to. I've got to get something from the librarian. Now, about that book.
The ladies' dance committee meets Tuesday nights at the high school.
all these kids facts. Go ahead.
Start her up, Mr. Washburn. Wait to see the new steps Professor Hill taught us.
All right. What'll it be?
Mr. Poopy!
Now, when we don't kiss the very first day, it's usually a hussy. When we don't kiss, we set that about his head, you get a hussy. For we go with the run, then the clouds feel you. She's a gonna get what you found. She's your she poopy. She a poopy. She a poopy. She a poopy.
The girl is hard to get.
She a poopy. She a poopy. She a poopy. Walk around once, raise your head, and you walk around twice. Raise your sight, once more. Wow, don't you never get sore. Back up on, baby, cause so what's he knows? That's a fucking real. Squeeze one, give me a guess, we bet this way. Once more, prepare for other children, never get sore. Wait a second. Baby, cause so what's he knows? Now, little old child with no girl, as anyone can see. Look at her now, she's a go-girl who only goes for me. Please help her. She's looking at me, guess respect, that's fancy. Once more for her, for others she'll never get sore. Wait a second. You'll make her cry so much she knows. Chip rope, chip rope. The girl is hard to get. Chip rope, chip rope, chip rope. What's your name?
behind your back. Why, we'd rather be doing it in front of your back.
Do what? Never mind.
Zanita may be afraid of you, but I'm not. I'd hate to think you want your own daughter to be afraid of you. Geely, Clyde!
I'm gonna warn you once more. If I ever catch you laying your hands on my daughter again, I'll by God horsewhip you till hell won't have it no more.
Now, George!
That's one poop out of you, madam.
I think he means beep.
Now, get out of this public building.
Well, I got as much right in a public building as anybody.
Right? Oh! Well, how do you get right around here? Aiding and abetting the swindling activities of the spellbinding symbol salesman? You know what I see written all over your face? Reform school. Now get out. Oh, get out, you wild kid, you.
Papa, please! It's capitalists like you that make blood in the marketplace! Egad!
Now, you watch your phraseology. Now, go home, young lady. You lady!
Yes, George!
You, tend to your dance.
My dad!
Yes. I'll handle it. Wrong side of town.
I can just make you understand.
Well, you can't. And by the way, thanks for nothing. I read that book you gave me from cover to cover for a whole week now, and I didn't find a thing.
Mr. Mayor,
I'll settle your hash as soon as I get these premises off of my oldest girl. Yes.
All right. But in the meantime, I want you to know I'm vouching for Tommy Jules. He's got the confidence of every kid in this town, and you'll be first in line to shake his hand after our band plays its first concert.
By the time your band plays its first concert, the individual members will have to foregather in wheelchairs on account of the broken legs they'll get from tripping over their own beards. And I'll tell you something else, my feathered young... my fine feathered... No. Oh, never mind. Oliver Stacy Ewart, Olin. I want this man's papers, and I want him tonight. Don't let him out of your sights. He's slipperier than the Mississippi sturgeon.
You mean you want us to get his credentials?
Get his papers or get him in jail. Couldn't make myself any plainer if I was a button hook in the well water.
Professor Hill, I think Mayor Shin behaved abominably. And I think it was wonderful of you coming to come to that.
Oh, that was nothing.
Yes, it was.
Oh, no. No, a man can't dodge the issue every time a little personal risk is involved. What does the poet say? The coward dies 1,000 deaths, the brave man only 500. Now, unfortunately, the mayor was already pretty mad on account of his billiard parlor, but... Oh, I suppose a recommendation from a musical authority like yourself wouldn't hurt, but I couldn't ask you to do a thing like that.
Why, Professor Hill,
You mean you would?
Well, I'd be glad to. I just wish I was a little more informed. I've been wanting to talk to you about Winthrop's cornet.
His cornet, yes. Mother of pearl key.
I'm sure it's fine. But you see, he never touches it. Oh, the first week or so, he made a few experimental blats, I guess you could say.
Yes, blats.
And he sings the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
La-di-da, la-di-da.
But he never touches the cornet.
What?
He says you told him it wasn't necessary. He tells me about some think system. If he thinks the minuet in G, then he won't have to bother with the notes. Now, Professor.
Miss Marion, the think system is a revolutionary method, I'll admit. But so was Galileo's conception of the heavens, Columbus's conception of the globe, Bach's conception of the well-tempered clavichord. Now, I cannot discuss these things here with you in public. But if you'll allow me to call. When may I call?
Why, any night this week.
Miss Peru, you must join our Del Sarte committee.
Oh, yes, you're so good tonight. Dancing is true, Professor Hill. You dance like a very crazy night with a good big oil floor. Now you don't shine your hands. You can see the shoes. Oh, we know to do something with them for the whole day. Here.
Merry Christmas to
We have our orders.
We all been deputized.
Yes. Well, congratulations. Now let's see. You fellows know I've tried to give you my references and credentials all week, but for some reason, you seem to get off the subject somehow. Now I have just what you need over at my hotel. Take me a second.
No, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to come along with you.
Yes, well, let's see if I have my key. Oh, now what is this? Oh, yes, a testimonial from Madame Reaney, the only female bassoon player to ever appear on the Red Path circuit. Her stage name, of course. Actually, she was from Moline. Lida Rose Quackenbush.
I see that for a minute.
Oh, you'll never forget the name. The same as the old song. B flat, please. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose.
To get the sun back in the sky. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose, about 1,000 kisses shy. Ding dong ding, I can hear the chapel bell chime. Ding dong ding, at the least suggestion, I'll pop the question. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Lida Rose, now everyone knows that I'm hoping you're the same. So here is my love song, not fancy or fun. Lida Rose.
Will you ever tell him? Won't you ever tell him? Ah, yes, no. Oh, fiddlesticks. Just open your mouth and let it come out.
Now, Mama.
Now nothing. If he ever comes to call again, you see him alone. And if you have the gumption to tell him how you feel...
Tell him?
Well, there's nothing wrong with a ladylike hint.
Mom!
Winthrop, where have you been?
Fishing?
Fishing.
With Harold.
You mean Professor Hill?
Mm-hmm. Look, I saw some worms left.
Did you have a good time?
Gus's, he told me all about his hometown, Gary, Indiana, and he said me picture someday. And he taught me song and hardly has any S's in it. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. Let me say once again. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. That's the town that is me when. If you like to have a look, explanation, how it happened on the spelling and syncopation, I'll say without a moment of hesitation that there's just one place that can work my trick.
Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana.
That Louisiana perfect, you know, wrong. But
Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana. Gary, Indiana. My home, sweet home.
if you like to have a logical explanation, how it happened on the spelling and syncopation, I will say without a moment of hesitation that there's just one place that can light my face.
Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana.
That Louisiana perfect, they all go wrong. But
Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana. Gary, Indiana. My home, sweet home.
I'll be back in a minute. I spoke to Amaryllis and Leigh wrong. La-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da.
I'll leave the dishes. I'll do them, Mama.
Don't you have to change for the sociable?
There's time later.
Shins live around here somewhere.
Oh, the Shin home is on Easttown. This is Westtown.
Oh, criminy. I see the piano teacher in town. You must know about this fella Hill from the boys' band.
Why, yes.
Well, don't let it worry you no more. I got the goods on him in spades, swindling two-bit thimble rigger. That's why I gotta see Shin. The number 8 only makes a 15-minute water stop and... Ooh. Oh, I wish it was 20. I'd sure like to concentrate 5 minutes on you, girly girl.
Who are you?
My name's Charlie Cowell, landbill salesman. But just now I'm out to protect the good name of the traveling fraternity from this swindler.
Mr. Cowell, you're making a big mistake.
Mistake my old lady's corset cover. That fella's been the raspberry seed in my wisdom tooth just long enough. He spoiled Illinois for me. He ain't gonna spoil Iowa. What kind of a music teacher are you? You didn't see through him? Well, he's no more professor.
I know all about that. Band leaders are always called professor. It's a harmless deception. He's a fine director, and his scholastic...
Now, just a minute. Fine director. Have you heard one note of music from any band?
Well, no,
But nothing, girly girl. He never formed a band in his life, and he never will.
If you'll just listen to me for a minute.
I'd like to. I'd like to do more than that if I had the time. I sure got the inclination. But I gotta get back on that train, and I gotta leave this dynamite with somebody on the way to the depot. Bye, girly girl. See you next time through.
You'll never make the train at the depot. You'll have to catch it at the crossing.
No, sir. I gotta leave word, and I can see you ain't the one to leave it with.
Just a minute. Mr. Cowell, you, don't know me yet.
Is that an invitation?
No, I mean, I don't know you.
Yes, I need more time anyway.
I mean, as well as I'd like to.
No trouble there, girly girl.
I never met a man who sells anvils before. Well, that's something quite different.
Takes a real salesman, I can tell you that. You see, anvils have a limited appeal, you know. my trade. I'll get fired, and I gotta leave word about that fella Hill.
Leave word with me.
Not on your tin type. How do I know how to deliver these letters?
Try me. There's your train. Now look for it.
Why, you double-dealing little... Who do you think you're protecting? That guy's got a girl in every county in Illinois, and he's taking it away from every one of them. That's 102 counties, not including the piano teachers like you he cozies up to, just to keep their mouths shut. Neither one of you's heard the last of me, girly girl.
Home again rose without a sweetheart to my name. Good evening, Miss Marion.
Maggie, dear, who was you talking to just now? Why, Professor Hill.
Mrs. Peru. Happy evening, Miss Marion.
Why didn't you and Marion come up and set? I've got some jelly on the stove.
There's no jelly on the stove, Mama.
Well, I'll put some on.
Shall we set as your mother said?
Well,
You did ask me to call.
Oh, did I? I didn't mean anything.
Now, Miss Marion, I'm not suggesting that your invitation inferred anything but academic enlightenment. The think system? Well, I've been by your house a time or two this week to try and explain it to you, but, well, there always seem to be people around. Now, mostly ladies, I thought, but...
Yes, Mrs. Squires, and several of the ladies.
Oh, good. I wouldn't want anybody feeding my time. Well, it's evidently not the convenient night. I'll see if the sociable later.
Professor Hill, is it really true that you had 100? What I'm trying to say is...
Yes?
Is it really true that you developed a think system?
A think system? Well, a think system, yes, of course. Well, actually, it's quite simple, really. As simple as whistling. Now, no one needs to show you how to use your lips in whistling. You simply think a tune up here, and have it come out clearly here. Now try this yourself, before you ask any questions.
I think I'll take your word.
We sit down.
Are all music teachers as dense as I am?
All music teachers?
Well, I dare say even dozens, even 100.
Well,
Have they all been as fascinated as I am with the think system?
well, some more and some less. One young lady had thought of the very same system before I came to her town. She showed me a few refinements.
I see.
I said something wrong.
Please don't let me keep you, Professor Hill. You must have many more important things to do than explain the think system to me.
Can't think of one.
I mean, it must be very dull company for a man of your experience.
Now, say, where did you get an idea like that?
One hears rumors of traveling salesmen.
Now, Miss Marion, you mustn't believe everything you hear. After all, one even hears rumors about librarians.
I suppose you're referring to Uncle Matty.
Uncle Matty?
Mr. Madison, my father's best friend. No matter what they say, he left me in a short job so that Mother Winthrop and I would have some security. Well, surely you don't really...
No, of course not. That's exactly what I'm saying. But why do you think people start those rumors?
Narrow-mindedness and jealousy. Oh, well, jealousy mostly, I guess.
Exactly. And jealousy mostly starts rumors about traveling salesmen. What have you heard?
Oh, nothing about you personally. Just generally.
Well, what have you heard generally?
Well, just that... I mean, it stands to reason that disappointment and jealousy could lead to... I mean, take you, for instance, and your attentions to customers and to teachers might be misinterpreted, mightn't they? I mean, now, honestly, mightn't they?
What?
So you say if another salesman or somebody were jealous, well, they could be downright liars, couldn't they?
What could?
Oh, rumors and things.
Why, of course.
It just proves you should never believe everything you hear, doesn't it? I mean, if you just discuss things...
Miss Marion, I would be delighted to discuss anything in the world with you. But couldn't we do it sitting down? You do sit, your knees do bend and all.
We could sit on the porch step.
Well, we could also sit on a large hollow log over at the Footbridge.
Oh, I couldn't think of it. I've never been to the Footbridge with a man in my life.
Just to talk.
I've got to dress for the sociable.
Well, then meet me there in 15 minutes.
I just can't. Please. Some other time, maybe tomorrow.
My dear little librarian, pile up enough tomorrows and you'll find you've collected nothing but a lot of empty yesterdays. I don't know about you, but I'd like to make today worth remembering.
So
The Footbridge. 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Oh, Mama! What? I just told Professor Hill I meet him at the Footbridge in 15 minutes.
Well, glory be and saints be praised, it worked.
What does?
I've been using the think system on you from the parlor.
Uniforms have arrived. Kids are in them already. They show up at the sociable, the people are gonna be screaming to hear music.
Yes, but
Look, here's most of the dough. I got Tommy to play. He's over at the lumberyard trying to keep the kids together, pretend all the band practice or something.
all right, Marcy. Get the rig.
I got it.
Well, what time's the break go?
9:40 from the junction.
Well, it's not even 8:30 yet.
Wait, look. You want to toy the woil around here and get yourself caught in a bunny trap? Go ahead, but
Look, Mars, I'll meet you at the hotel in plenty of time. Why, Miss Marion, you're late.
But you said 15 minutes.
I meant that you were about, well, I'd say about 26 years late. Took you all that time to get to the Footbridge with a fella.
If you want to know the truth, it was almost longer.
Oh?
Halfway here, I made you turn back. I suppose I'm not the first to find it easier to think clearly than not under the spell of your salesmanship.
Well, now, surely you don't think I've been selling you anything.
Oh, no. You've given me something, and that's why I decided to come.
But I don't recall giving you anything.
Oh, yes, you have. Something beautiful. And that's why I came. Please don't be afraid that I expect too much more. One can't expect a traveling salesman to say what. I know there will be many ports of call, and there will be many more. That's no reason for me not to be grateful when you left behind with me.
Marion,
There were bells on the hill
carrying. There are a lot of things you don't know about me.
Hey, Ray.
Excuse me. I'm expecting a cable from Hector Berlioz. This could be it. Now what?
Who's the salesman around here? Sounds like she's selling and you're buying.
You kidding? I told you I had to keep her off balance, didn't I?
Oh, she's so far balanced now you can't tell from a catboat in a hurricane.
Oh, listen, Buster Brown. I've come up through the ranks on this skirmish. I'm not resigning without my commission.
But Fred, you can't get anywhere out here. I mean, on the footbridge.
There's a place over the lumber yard makes this footbridge look like the old lady's home. Now beat it. Go get the ring. Never a peaceful moment in the music business. Now then, where were we?
You were about to tell me what I don't know about you.
Yes. Well, we don't need to go into that right now, do we?
No, you don't. Or ever, for that matter, Harold. The librarian hasn't felt much like doing research lately. But she did plenty when you first came here.
Oh? About what?
About Professor Harold Hill, Gary Conservatory gold medal class in Alt 5. Harold, there wasn't any Gary Conservatory in Alt 5.
Why, there most certainly was.
Because the town wasn't even built until Alt 6. I'll see you at the social room.
You knew all the time?
Since July 7th, 3 days after you came here. I tore this page out of the Indiana Journal. It was originally intended to use against you, but I give it to you now with all my heart.
But if you knew, why didn't you? Why, you little... While 110 cornets played the air, then I modestly took my place as the one and only bass, and I fought up and down the square.
Good night, my someone. Good night, my love.
With 110 cornets struck high.
Our star is shining its brightest light.
There were horns of every shape and sweet dreams be yours, dearest dreams there be.
While 110 cornets played the air.
I wish I may and I wish I might. Now good night, my someone. Good night.
Craig! Craig! This guy's crazy. He's going on the telescope and everything.
I'll say I'm crazy. Missed my train, probably lost my job, but I got you now, Hill. And you'll pay. You'd be in the clink right now if it hadn't been for that piano teacher. I told her all about you. And what'd she do? Lily gags me around till I couldn't get to shin. Just a dried up, man-hungry, doxy hound.
Get out of here, I'll kill you, you dirty mouth.
Oh, you big bully, you big blow-off. I'm gonna stay in this town till you get yours up, down, through and sideways. Why, you never even knew the territory.
Okay, Greg. Here's your stuff. Come on. Come on. Hurry up.
Trickle, 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 trickle,
through your heads that you're being swindled out of your eye teeth right now, this minute? There's a burglar in the bedroom while you're fiddling in the parlor. I'm talking about Harold Hill, road agent, highwayman, pickpocket.
Pickpocket?
Same thing, he's had his hand in your wallet, mister. And yours, madam. And yours too, little lady, ever since the first moment he came into this town. There's more documented evidence than you'll ever have time to read. There isn't any band, there never has been a band, and there never will be any band. And if you don't hunt this man down right now like a mad dog, there won't be any Harold Hill either. He'll be on the next train out of town.
Well, now do you believe me?
Well, what are we waiting for?
I want my money back.
Money back? I want his heart!
Yeah.
All right, after him then. And if you find him, bring him to the schoolhouse. Try the low road. Check down by the creek. Try over by the windmill. The back of the privy.
All over for you.
I'm looking for Winthrop. He's run away. Please go, Harold. They're even talking about tar and feathers.
I had to see you, Marion.
It's all right. Don't you know that? You don't owe me a word, not a word. Now, please hurry, please.
Greg! He ain't anywhere around here. Let's try down by the creek.
Oh, Winthrop!
Now hold on there a minute, son.
I'm not your son. Let me go.
Oh, no, not till I talk to you for a
I
minute.
was thinking you to tell the truth anyway.
I would too.
Would not.
Would too. I tell you anything you want to hear.
Can you leave it down?
No.
Are you a big liar?
Yes.
Are you good rock the crook?
Yes.
Now let me go, you big liar.
Hold on there. I'm bigger than you, and you're gonna get all of it, so you may as well quit wiggling. Now, there's two things you were entitled to know. First of all, you're a great kid. I thought so from the first. That's why I wanted you in the band. So you'd quit moping around, feeling sorry for yourself.
What band?
I always think there's a band.
What's the other thing we're supposed to know?
Well, actually, now that I think of it, the other thing's really none of your business.
I wish you never come to Florida City.
No, you don't, Winthrop.
That's what you believe.
I believe everything he ever said. I know what he promised us, and it all happened just like he said. The lights, flags, and colors, and symbols. In the way every kid in this town walked around here all summer and looked and acted. Especially you. And the parents, too. Does Mama wish he'd never come to River City?
Well, you.
No. Now hurry, Harold, please.
I can't go. For the first time in my life, I've got my foot caught in the door. There was love around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all. Till there was you.
our bosom would have been misapprehended by this time. And always remember that I did everything in my power to prevent this happening from, happening. Sports school and
about getting our money back. That professor has collected nearly $300 in uniforms just tonight.
And we haven't even seen them uniforms yet.
Well, he's slippery, I told you.
I haven't seen any uniforms for my son either since just after supper.
He's a kidnapper.
It's a fine situation here.
But sports school is... Ah! Virtue has triumphed. The sword of retribution has cut down Professor Harold Hill. And if there are any of you that are melting tar and gathering feathers, I will not say them nay.
Well, I should think there ought to be some of you who can forget our everlasting, Iowa stubborn, chip-on-the-shoulder arrogance long enough to remember River City before Harold Hill arrived. Do you remember? Oh, do you? Surely some of you ought to be grateful to him for what he's brought to River City. And if so, I should think you'd want to admit it.
You're wasting a great deal of time here. If there are any among you that feel this man doesn't deserve to be tarred and feathered, let him stand down. Ready, sit down. And the rest of you standing there like a bunch of Shropshire sheep. Have you forgotten how you bought expensive band instruments and uniforms? Have you forgotten the warranty that your child will learn how to play the band? Well, where's the band? Where's the band?
Think, men. Think